Okay, today we are going to start another test. It's very important test. That is the determination of GMM. There are two standards used for the determination. ASTO T209 या ASTM D2041 method. Now the question is, why we need to determine this? So its answer is, whenever we are going to develop the mix design, we have to determine air voids. Second, we have to determine the GSE, known as the effective specific gravity. So for the determination of air voids and for the determination of the effective specific gravity, you will have to find out the value of GMM. So GMM actually, it is the abbreviation. It is known as the theoretical maximum specific gravity. Now the question is, how can we find out? Before I go further, so keep this in mind. GMM is the ratio of mass of aggregate plus bitumen content and volume of aggregate plus bitumen content. And keep this in mind, if I write down air voids, this air is removed out, so this air is equal to 0. Because air has some volume. When air is removed from this, so then its volume will be the combination of aggregate and bitumen content only. Here air 0 means that all air is removed from the mix. So this, you should know air voids, you should know GSE. These are two very important properties which we will find out provided that if GMM is known. So in order to determine this GMM, mass of the aggregate is already known to you. You have developed in your laboratory or you have taken from the site sample. But my concern over here is only I have developed the mix design in the laboratory and I have added 3.5% of the bitumen content and I have prepared this sample, and this sample is shown over here. Similarly, I have prepared another sample. Over there the bitumen content is more than 3.5. I will tell you its reason. Because when we are going to develop the mix design, we have to find out the value of GMM at two values of the bitumen content. One near to the mix design and other one is higher to the mix design. And these values are then used to find out the value of GSE, effective specific gravity. And this GSE will be kept constant throughout our mix design or throughout our application of our asphaltic rock on the site. Now anyhow, this was our just preliminary discussion regarding this one. Next, in order to find out this GMM, what type of the apparatus you will have to use. Over here, there is no any long list of the material. It's very simple because you have to remove the airs. So you need a vacuum pump. Vacuum pump is over here. Second, you need some container in which we will put our sample, and from This sample we will remove out the airs. And third one, how much vacuum is created inside, and for this one, this is our gauge. Next very important property about this bituminous mixed material. So keep this in mind, as I have shown you over here, all my coarse aggregates and fine aggregates are separate from each other, and all this mix with me is at the room temperature, and you see that there is no any lump of the material. Materials are not mixed up with each other. All coarse and fine material are separate from each other. You can see it. Other thing, I will use water, and the temperature of the water should not be more than 25 Celsius. So you can say that in order to measure the temperature of the water, you will have to use a thermometer. But as I have already taken my water sample, its temperature I have measured over here, but there is no need to show in detail. Now,
Okay, sir.
there is no need to show in detail. Now let me show you that first of all, I will put all my sample into this desiccator or container. This sample which I have put over here, its mass I have already determined, and that mass is represented by A, mass of bitumen mix aggregate. It will be represented by capital A. Its mass I have determined 28 gram. Second thing, this is the desiccator or container. I had immersed this assembly into water. Then I have determined the mass of this desiccator when it is completely immersed in the water, and that mass of the container in water. It is represented by capital B. It is equal to 958.5 gram. So this is the mass of my desiccator or container when I have immersed it completely into the water. Now, again, I will come toward this desiccator. It can be either of the metal or it can be of the glass material. So this desiccator with me is of the glass material. It's very strong enough and we need it. It should be strong enough. Why? Because when I will apply the vacuum inside, some external forces will act on the external sides. So it should be able to sustain the external forces. It should be so much strong enough. Now as I have put my sample inside, I have arranged it uniformly inside this surface. After that, I will put water. Now the question is, how much water do I need to put? Answer very simple. All your sample should be completely immersed and there should be at least 1 centimeter of the water above the surface of this mix. Now the question is why we are using water. Because water is very good insulator. It does not allow the air to get trapped into the mix when the air is removed. Because when we will deaerate it, when we remove all the airs from this mix, and after that we will dismantle our equipment or we will stop using the your value of the reduced pressure. When all this assembly is reduced, it will be same like this one. Now air will no more be able to travel back to the mix. And second important property, it shows us that the bubbles will come out when the vacuum is applied. The bubbles will come out, the bubbles are collapsing. When the collapse of the bubbles stop, then we say that all air which was trapped in this mix line or in this bituminous mix material has been removed out. That is the stage where we can say that now this is the volume containing only aggregate and bitumen, and because air is removed. As I have talked many times about that we will apply the vacuum. How much will be the pressure inside? Its range is already defined. (27.5 plus minus 2.5 millimeter of Hg). Now the question is, for how long we will go on providing this amount of the pressure? Means for how much time? So it's also defined in the standards. It will be 15 plus minus 2 minutes. Other thing, when our vacuum has reached this value, and we have to maintain this time, but after every 2 minutes we will go on shaking our this assembly, just in order to show that as we will shake it, bubbles will start rising. In this way, whatever the bubbles which have been encapsulated or which has been blocked will come out. After 15 minutes, we will start applying the vacuum. Vacuum pump will be dismantled. Then this assembly containing mix plus water, it will be immersed completely into the water. And let it remain over there for 10 minutes unless you are going to get a constant value on your balance. Because when you have put this one, there will be little shaking, there will be little vibration, there will be little disturbance in the water. When the water has calmed itself, there is no any vibration on the surface of the water, it means you can see the value is constant. That value you will have to calculate, and as I have already given you the value A, value B, and that value will be represented by C. Now, this C is containing mass, sample, plus part. Now we will start applying the vacuum to our mix. As it has reached to this value of this pressure, 27.5 plus or minus 2.5 millimeter of HD, we will make start our stopwatch. And you see that these bubbles are coming out. These bubbles show that this entrapped air is coming out. So as I have already told you that we will go on shaking this sample after every 2 minutes. We will do it by hands, or we can use mechanical shaker, but we don't have this mechanical shaker. It's not a compulsory. We can use it our own way that we will go on shaking it. After shaking, whatever the air is entrapped, it will come out. And we will continue this process for 15 minutes. Now there is no more bubbles coming out from this sample. The vacuum is continuously being applied and its value is also kept constant, 27.5 plus or minus 2.5 millimeter of HD, and our time 15 minutes is passed. When this time is passed, now we see that there is no any bubble coming out of this one. First of all, we will close our pump. So as we are going to close our pump, then we will dismantle this assembly. Not all of a sudden, gradually. And after that, we will close it and dismantle this our pump. After this dismantling, this sample, which I have already told you, now this water is acting as an insulating layer. It does not permit the air removed out from the mix to get inside this one. We will suspend this assembly into the water for 10 minutes and we will measure the mass, and that mass is 0.5 gram. As I have all the data with me, A, B and C. Now by using these three values, we will determine the GMM. GMM is equal to A minus C minus B. As I will put the values, 26, 28, 26, 28 minus 2, 6, 6.5 minus 985.5. After this calculation, the value of GMM will come 2.774. Now this GMM will be used to calculate the value of effective specific gravity.